Janvi, why would you recommend first day, first week to a school?
Imagine yourself walking into your new job on the first day, and you are bombarded with information and targets. You have to achieve this at the end of 3 months, and this is your target for 6 months, and these are the things that you are supposed to do, these are the things you are not supposed to do. Observe how people are working in the first week, and you feel either lost or overwhelmed, right? It is the same with the children. When they walk into the space and you are giving them information about what will be covered in the entire year's syllabus, you will have so many periods of language and we will have so many periods of math. It is too much for the child to digest, and therefore setting the right tone at the beginning of the year helps in building a strong relationship with the children. So it's no longer transactional, but it is personal. You're having that bond with the child, you're giving him ease and comfort so that they get confident to say, no matter what, my teacher is with me. And that sets the tone for the year. Then you don't have to look at how much syllabus you have to cover, because you know that the child is with you on that journey.
Tell us, how has the process of first day, first week impacted your practice and of other educators in the ecosystem?
What I've got to know about the children in the first day, first week is something that has changed my practice over the years. I also learnt about the different kinds of learners that they are. What do they like? What do they not like? What are they not comfortable doing? What worries them? What bothers them? So you have to be very, very observant in that first week, and because of that, it has helped me change even my planning for every batch of children that I get. Sometimes as a collective interest of the class may not match with your interest. For example, I'm not a very good dancer, but one year I had a group of children who loved to dance, and I saw that in the first week's challenge that was given to them, that how much they are fond of dancing. Would that limit my practice and say, I'm sorry, but I'm not a dancer? That gave me an insight of who they are, and how can I timetable for sessions where I invite another educator and say, hey, your skills match with their skills, and why don't you have 2 sessions with them every week, so that they can build on that skill and interest that they have. And I would say that for other educators as well, because our personalities are very different from what the children want sometimes, and that is where we can kind of blur the boundaries between classrooms, and we can step into each other's class, and that's where we can make magic together.
We'd love to hear a story of how this practice has impacted a new student and parent in your school.
I would like to share an instance of a new parent, because children, when we design the experiences of the first week and we give them time to bond together, to play together, personally for me, I have not seen an anxious student, because they're all together on that journey. But parents are always anxious, especially if they have young children. So there was a parent who used to actually follow the bus for an entire week, thinking my child will cry, my child will cry, my child will cry. And we had to kind of calm her down. And a strategy that my co-teacher and I used was to take pictures and short videos of the child in different situations in the school in that first week, and we used to send it to her every day to say, see, your child is happy, she's comfortable, you don't need to worry. And the parent and the child both were comfortable, and both were kind of looking forward to the year. So I think that is something that has stayed with me, and I've recommended to the other teachers also to say, whenever you see an anxious parent, please do this.
Janvi, have you ever felt self-conscious while dancing, singing, playing, or being involved in some activities with children that you're not particularly good at?
See, for a teacher, there are 2 things. Either you look at the entire approach as us and them. They are students, I'm a teacher. So they will dance, I will stand and I will watch. Or you become a part of them, and you shed your inhibitions and you start dancing and playing with them. Sometimes we feel that this might, build a sense of either disrespect towards the teacher. and say, will my children respect me if I become one of them? But that is not the case. You just have to be a part of them because they need that bond, they need that comfort with you in that space. And believe me, I've done it over the years. I'm not a dancer, but I've danced like crazy with my children. And yet, there's a special bond that every year I have with the children, and the kind of respect that you want as a teacher as well. So yes, you have to shed all your inhibitions and you have to go all in the first week and so then they're all in with you for the rest of the year.